The following is a sponsored program paid for by Yaba TV.
Welcome to our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Sia. If you or someone you know is looking for a great attorney, someone that will fight for you and win your case, someone that has so much experience in the business, you are in for a special treat if you watch this show today with Attorney Christian Oyosaye. Attorney Christian is someone that would know, it won't take no for an answer until you get the answer that you deserve, and that means winning your case. Some lawyers are very expensive, and I'm not saying it's not, but it will give you a lot of information, even sometimes free information that you can use. So if you or someone you know is definitely looking for a great attorney, this is the show to watch. So tell all your friends and family, everybody you know, about our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to our beautiful show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Sia. Today is a one-on-one special with Attorney Christian Oyosaye. So we have so much to share with you today when it comes to law and you. And probably you may be thinking, lawyers are expensive. Yes, that's true. But on this show, you get to learn some information for free, and then you be the judge that this is an intelligent lawyer that can fight for you. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody you know about our beautiful show. At this moment, let me welcome the attorney on the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a rare privilege.
You're welcome. So for our audience that are watching the show, I've talked so much about you. They are curious to know who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Christian Oyosaye. I'm an attorney licensed both in Nigeria and also in the U.S. So in total, I've been licensed for about 16 years now. I practice my law in California. My office is in Chatsworth. And I'm married with 3 children. And so that's just a little bit about me.
Okay. Tell us, what type of law, area of law do you practice?
Well, I'm more of a plaintiff's attorney's lawyers. We do a lot of contingencies. Our main area of practice is employment law. We focus on wrongful termination, discrimination, which is a very common issue in Los Angeles and California as a whole. We also focus on personal injuries, auto accidents, slip and fall, premises liability, and we also do what we call habitability practice. These are usually between tenants and landlords for defective housing condition. So that's the major core area of our practice.
So how long have you been practicing?
In the US, I've been practicing for 6 years.
Okay.
And as a whole, as an attorney, whether from Nigeria or the US, is about 16 years.
Okay, good chunk of time. Wow. So what made you choose law?
You know, I tell people this story all the time. I decided to become a lawyer, I think at about the age of 5, 6, around the 1987, 88, 89, within that range. I was watching the TV with my dad, and I saw a particular lawyer. I didn't even know he was a lawyer, but I saw the way people gathered around him. People wanted to listen to him and the way he was talking. And I asked my dad, who is that guy? And my dad said, hey, that's a lawyer. He's a famous Nigerian human rights defender, Chief Gani Fawemi. I got to know that was him.
In the game, we call them barrister, right?
Yeah, barrister. So I was like, so I asked my dad and I said, hey, if I become a lawyer, am I going to be this popular? And he said, yes. And so that stuck with me. So I never thought about anything else. I probably would not be able to do anything other than law.
Wow, what an interesting story.
Yeah, so that was how I, fell in love with law and followed it through. I was good in sciences in my high school. My brother, who is a medical doctor today, he used to be like the president of the high school. And so everybody wanted me to follow his footsteps. He was fantastic in sciences. And I was also good in sciences, but because I had already made up my mind to be a lawyer, I choose to deviate and go into the art class, just so that I could push through that agenda.
And achieve it.
And achieve it, and have achieved it.
I know when we started our conversation earlier, you said you practice also in Nigeria. This is the first time I'm seeing a lawyer, American, African, Nigerian, American, who is practicing not only here in California, but is practicing back home too. Tell us about that.
I mean, there's unlike what we have in the US in terms of the legal education, like if you want to be an attorney in Nigeria, when you finish from high school, you can go directly into your law school. And when you finish, then you have, the universities. When you finish from the university, which is a 5-year program, you are now capable of going into the Nigerian law school. We have just one Nigerian law school with several campuses.
Okay.
So it is after you have finished with the law school that you now become an attorney. You'll be sworn in as an attorney. And in my time, when I graduated in 2007, it looks like 17, 2007.
That's okay, we'll take that.
I had graduated as one of the overall best, not just one of them, the overall best. From the centuries before me to the centuries after me. I graduated with a first class, winning all of the awards that was available for a first class holder at that time. So in terms of the US now, you may have to get a first degree before you can even do law. So that's the difference. So you tend to have more people being able to do law back home in Nigeria as opposed to the US, because you must have a first degree before you go into law. So that's one of the major differences that we have. So we tend to have less business-minded individual from the African community, because we were only concerned about getting through the university and getting a job, as opposed to getting through the university and becoming a business owner or owning a business on our own. Look around, you will see that you tend not to find, even though we have been classified as the most educated amongst Africans, you tend not to find us as business owners, because we're never raised like that.
You mostly find nurses, doctors in the medical field.
In the medical field.
They feel that job is secured everywhere in the world.
Exactly. So you find us working for others, not setting up our own businesses. So majority of the people you see are more of employees as opposed to business owners. And so we must change that narrative by letting our children know that even as you try to get this education, be business-minded.
Okay. Hold your thought to that. We're going to talk on changing the narrative when we take a break to acknowledge the people that make this show possible. We'll be back in a moment. You are back with our lovely show, the Yaba TV show. I am your host, Cecile. I hope you're really enjoying our dialogue with the attorney. He has so much to share with you, and I know at the end of the day, you will pick up a phone and call him, because that's our goal. We want you to trust in his professional business as a lawyer to defend you. So continue to listen to us, pick up a phone and call your friends so you can join our dialogue. Back to you, sir. We were talking about changing the narrative in the African community. Do you see that really happening?
It will if we make what we call a concerted effort to change the narrative. Another thing I also see which can help us change the narrative is that Africans or people who migrated into the US, they don't usually take advantage of the legal system here. And you can see that from the fact that over the years, back home, religion has taken over.
I know.
And when
almost
things happen,
everybody you see want to be a pastor.
And apart from being a pastor, they'd like to say, let's leave it for God. Let's leave it for God. God gives, God takes, and then they go about saying, hey, I had a miracle because I survived an accident. But in this climb where
I'm
you
laughing because it's very common. You hear it all the time.
You know, I survived an accident. But and so rather than asking the person who caused your accident for compensation, you are okay with giving testimonies. But in this jurisdiction, in as much as you are involved in the same kind of accident, the person who caused it has to be responsible.
Pay for the damages.
So we say here that even the devil pays for his foolishness.
Right.
You know, so changing the narrative simply means that we must now talk to Africans, immigrants. You have some legal rights. You must use them. If you don't use them, then it expires. You know, changing the narrative also requires us to start encouraging our children to go into business. These days we see 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old owning businesses. It is possible. They can run it side by side, the education that we plan for them or we expect them to become. You know, so we must begin to create that opportunities for them. If we don't, they will end up being a resume carrying children who have to go from one office to another looking for job, you know, because that's all they know.
So were you always intelligent like that?
I mean, I think it's a gift. You know, it's a gift. It's a gift about, again, the way we grew up from Africa. Our parents just wanted a direction. Reading was the ultimate for everyone. So I think I was able to just get through those things and, you know.
Our audience that are watching us today, the younger generation that want to be a lawyer like you, what would you like to tell them today?
I think I would say to them, keep your dreams alive. Listen, you can get the obstacles on the way to the top. Don't give up. It may take a longer time. Don't give up. You know, I always tell youngsters that you are the driver of your vehicle. It depends on how you want to drive it. You know, and the fact that there's a vehicle ahead of you doesn't mean that you are late. You can still get to the same destination, probably at a different time, but the ultimate is to get to your destination and get there safe. So keep your dreams alive. That's all I can say.
Interesting. So for an African immigrant that comes to this country that is nervous to the society, we don't have a community to teach them the American ways, how to get adjusted to the lifestyles. And we've seen, particularly since I do this show, many of them contact me. They're going through changes. Where do we start as Africans? What kind of advice can you give us as Africans to be able to support one another, the nervous that are coming in town that don't know the American system, and sometimes they get depressed and they're wasted on the street?
Yes, you see.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I saw that, and I think that I tried to do a research on that. I mean, it was just not like a scientific research, but I tried to do like a couple of research on it as to why it happens. And I noticed that one of the things is lack of information, location they find themselves, and then the people they meet. You see, you can only give what you have. So if you come to someone who does not have that information, they can't give you anything.
And this society is two things, information and a little money.
And little money, and then location.
Yes.
Location. You know, for example, even as an undocumented, for example, you can get a driver's license in California, which most states don't offer you. So when you talk about depression, most of those people who get depressed, because they can't work for themselves, they can't drive, they can't do anything. So they are stuck.
Literally handicapped.
Handicapped. So find the right information. Talk to people. We are also fond of not liking to pay. We always want free thing, and it's common everywhere. But
I'm laughing because we experience it all the time.
Yeah, so it's important that we learn to also try to pay for services. Thank God you have the internet everywhere. If you cannot afford one in your house, you can go to like a McDonald's. Library. Sit there and look for the information. Call up lawyers. You know, if you are an immigrant trying to adjust your status, trying to understand. I mean, you can see free attorneys, actually.
Pro bono.
Look for what you call legal aids. There are legal aids everywhere. Schedule appointment with them. Some of these legal aids are free. Some of them are very affordable. At least talk to them so you can know where you need to be. We need to start learning that unless we get the information out, we'll probably be the same way that we came in.
So look at the camera and tell our audience where they can reach you, where they can connect with you. You've shared so much information on our show, and we only have 30 minutes. I wish we had longer than 30 minutes because you're very knowledgeable about these things. So, but how can they connect with you?
We do a lot of pro bono, particularly in terms of providing what we call advice-free immigration work. We don't do immigration, but we can just refer you and tell you what you need to understand about the immigration process and any other pro bono issues that we may find necessary to do. So our office is in Chatsworth. We are Ivy Crest Attorneys, and our phone number is 818-386-8054. Ivy Crest website is www.ivycrestlaw.com.
Okay, well said. If there's anything that you can say in one word or one or two words that can describe the exceptional work that you have been doing in the community, tying it with Nigeria and, of course, our local community, America, what one word would that be?
It will be we will fight for you. We do the good fight.
All right. I thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
For taking the time to come and express to us what you know about law and the community and just life in general as Africans in this great nation. I do thank you and I appreciate your talent.
Thank you
and
so
what
much.
you bring to the table here in the United States of America.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We do need to take another quick break to acknowledge our sponsors. And then after that, we want to have you relax because we're bringing you one of the best music videos, something that will really, you will treasure for the rest of your life. So you don't want to miss this moment. Be back in a moment. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch our television broadcast today. But we are on every Sunday at 4 p.m. right here on KCAR9. Wasn't this a beautiful show today? Information-packed and full of all kinds of energy. We laugh, we talk, we reminisce on Africa. Well, there's much more coming your way if you continue to watch Yaba TV. And by the way, if you'd like to be a guest on my show, if you have what it takes to be a guest on the show, please contact us. Our phone number is 562-833-8294. Also, we do have a YouTube channel, Yaba Media. If you go to Yaba Media, I guarantee you, you're going to love our shows because we have a variety of shows bridging the cultural divide between Africans and African Americans. The only thing I ask is, if you go to Yaba Media, I suggest that you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have an Instagram page, Yaba TV. Follow us on Instagram. Till then, we will see you next time at the same time on the Yaba TV show, your contemporary bridge to the motherland, Africa.
The proceeding was a sponsored program paid for by Yaba TV.